Hello Nidorinos and Nidorinos, and welcome to Ballonelea City, where the Ballonelea Angels today are going to host the Trovita Cascade. The Cascade is starting out with Trovita and the Galarian water type starter Inteleon, whereas the Ballonelea Angels are going to start out with the water type from Alola, Primarina, and Sylveon, the evolution. Now let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win today's battle, the Ballonelea Angels or the Trovita Cascade. Both these teams desperately want to win as they're trying to get in the top 8. Inteleon's going to start this battle out with a slash onto Primarina, trying to show who the dominant water type starter is. Primarina has a chance to respond now and goes with a Drain Punch. And it is in response to Inteleon, so it's going to restore some of that health it just lost. So very smart play there by Primarina. Sylveon now with its opportunity. It's going to go with a knockoff. This will do more damage thanks to everyone having an item, and it goes to Inteleon and critical hit. Inteleon is down in the red already, and it's only the first turn of this battle. Trovita now goes with a roar, so somebody's going to go back to the bench, and it targets the evolution. So Sylveon will go back to the bench, and out comes Togekiss for the Ballonelea Angels. Now don't be confused, Sylveon is still in this battle, but it will come back in later on. Now, as always, this is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, and if we hit that 20-minute time limit, we will go into single battle overtime. Now we get Inteleon going with a Noble Roar. Targets Togekiss, so welcoming it to the field. Togekiss will have its attack and special attack lowered. It does have that 120 special attack, so it can do some damage. Now it's going to go with a Smart Strike, which always hits. So it's going to go for Trovita. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, however, being not very effective. Does get that critical hit, thanks to the Seren Grace ability that Togekiss has. Those hidden abilities on the home teams, as always. Primarina now goes with a workup. So Primarina boosts its attack and special attack as well. And Trovita gonna go with a Glaciolite. So it's gonna hit both Primarina and Togekiss with this move. Super effective there on Togekiss, so it gets a very good hit, whereas it's not very effective on Primarina. However, it does lower both the speed of Primarina and Togekiss. Now, Trovita Cascade are currently sitting in 11th, and both teams at the moment do have a 5-5 record, so 11th, they're only 3 spots out of the 8. This would be big if the Trovita Cascade can win this. Don't actually think they've reached the top 8 yet in this season, as we get a Terrain Pulse from Inteleon onto Primarina. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, however. If there was a grassy terrain on the field, it would have been massive, as we get a Psychic now coming from Trovita onto Togekiss, taking Togekiss down into the yellow. Togekiss has that opportunity to respond, and it's going to go with a Rock Blast. So it's going to hit multiple times. We get 2. It's got 3. That third one's critical hit. And it only hits 3 times, so Togekiss gets 3, one of them being a critical hit. Primarina now goes with the Roar of Time. Targeting Inteleon, this should finish it off, and it does. Inteleon is the first Pokemon eliminated from this battle. Gonna have a third Pokemon now coming out for the Trovita Cascade. And it's Politoed, the final form of Poliwag, when used with that King's Rock. Politoed now has the speed advantage on the field. Only has a speed of 70. But thankfully, Togekiss did have its speed lowered. That Charge Beam hits Primarina, is super effective, and it will get Primarina down below 50% of its health. Trovita now, so that speed advantage is on the side of Trovita Cascade. It goes with a double team. This could be fantastic for Trovita since its evasiveness will be boosted here. Togekiss now needs to get more of them critical hits. It goes with a Harden instead, so it's going to boost its defense. Now Primarina. Oh, I apologize, it's not Primarina. But both Primarina and Togekiss are down in the yellow. This is fantastic for the Trovita Cascade. They have the health advantage on the field at the moment, as we get an Ice Punch coming from Politoed. Targeting Togekiss, super effective hit, will get Togekiss down into the yellow. Trovita could finish it off here. And it's going to go with the Quick Attack. But instead it goes for Primarina, but Primarina now is also down in the red. So both Togekiss and Primarina are just holding on, as we get a Slack Off from Togekiss. This is fantastic for Togekiss, as it's going to restore that health. Massive health boost there, taking it back into the green. Primarina Goes with a Dark Pulse. Targeting Politoed, a very good hit. Politoed's still in the green, but takes some serious damage. Now, the Ballonelea are sitting 13th. They're a little bit lower than the Trovita Cascade, but they have been unable to build any serious momentum this season, and they just keep losing when when it matters. Although they did get a big win last week over the Melee Draconids, as a Thunder from Politoed hits Togekiss, and Togekiss is eliminated. So the Trovita Cascade have leveled things on the field, and they could take the lead right now. As Clawitza sets up for a Solar Blade, so that move will take 2 turns. It'll set up on this turn, and it will hit on the next turn. Primarina now goes with a Gunk Shot, targeting Clawitza. And a very big hit. Clawitza just holds on. It is in the red, but it is barely holding on as Sylveon comes back onto the field. So Clawitza should still be able to connect with that Solar Blade on this turn. Politoed now still with that speed advantage on the field. He's going to go with a Blast Burn. And it will finish Primarina off with that Blast Burn. Not very effective, but it gets the job done, and Primarina is eliminated as the Trovita Cascade take the lead. Sylveon now. It's going to go with a Sand Tomb. This won't be very effective on the water types. And it targets Politoed, so Politoed's going to be taking damage in between turns from that Sand Tomb. And here comes that Solar Blade on the Sylveon. And a very decent hit by Sylveon there. There's Politoed taking damage from that Sand Tomb. As Carbink comes onto the field for the Ballonelea. Now Carbink can take some serious hits. It has that 150 defense and special defense. It has held on in some serious battles so far this season. So if it can do it again now, Sylveon now goes with the Fake Tears. And does target Politoed. So Politoed's special defense does get lowered. Clawitza now goes with the Ingrain, so it's going to plant its roots in the field. And it will start to restore health in between turns. Carbink now goes with the Laser Focus. There's that Ingrain, restoring some of the health for Clawitza, whereas Politoed continues to take that damage from Sand Tomb, so Politoed only has a matter of time unless that Sand Tomb clears up. Now Politoed goes with the Soap, so it's going to add the water type into Sylveon. Sylveon's going to throw a present at the Trovita Cascade. This could be very beneficial for the Trovita Cascade, and it is because it restores the health of Politoed. So that's not what the Ballonelea needed. Now Carbink goes with the Minimize, so it's going to boost its evasiveness even more. It's going to be very hard to get Clawitza off this field. Carbink now going with the Iron Defense, so it's going to boost its already amazing defense stats. There's Politoed taking that Sand Tomb damage. Politoed goes with a Stone Edge. Targets Sylveon, and Sylveon gets taken all the way down into the red with that hit. A very good hit there by Politoed. Sylveon has that chance to respond and goes in the ally switch. So it and Carbink are just going to switch positions on the field at the moment. Clawitza goes for the Shadow Sneak. Don't see it's being very effective on the Fairy types, and it does very minor damage. You barely even notice a scratch there being done to Carbink, as Carbink goes with a Pluck, targeting Politoed, and takes it down into the red as it takes its Leopard Berry and proceeds to eat it right there in front of Politoed. There's that Ingrain, putting Clawitza back into the yellow. And that Sand Tomb could finish Politoed off here, but it holds on. So Politoed is still hanging in there. Politoed could finish off Sylveon here. Goes for the Draining Kiss. Instead chooses to focus its attention on Carbink, and in the process restores some of its own health. Very needed there by Politoed. Could keep it in this battle for an extra turn. Sylveon is going to go with the Shadow Ball. And forget about Politoed lasting another turn. Sylveon has eliminated Politoed from this battle. Well, things are all leveled up here in Ballonelea City. Boom Burst now coming from Trovita. It's going to hit both opposing Pokemon. And Sylveon gets taken down, so Trovita Cascade instantly take back the lead as Sylveon is eliminated. So another Pokemon will be coming out for the Trovita Cascade and the Ballonelea Angels shortly, as we get a sweet scent coming from Carbink. So Carbink lowers that evasiveness of Trovita, very beneficial with all those boosts that Trovita had given itself. And Golduck comes out for the Trovita Cascade. We have Hatterene coming on for the Ballonelea Angels. Hatterene has had some very impressive matches so far this season. See if it can keep it up here. Golduck has the speed advantage on the field. It's got that 85 base speed and goes with a Poison Tail. Super effective there on Hatterene. Fairy types being weak to poison type moves. And a Magic Powder comes from Trovita, but Hatterene's hidden ability Magic Bounce will send it straight back at Trovita. So Trovita's type will change to Psychic. And Crabhammer now coming from Carbink. I think this won't be very effective on the water types. Does very minor damage there to Golduck. Hatterene, being the slowest Pokemon on the field, is actually the slowest Pokemon for the Ballonelea Angels. Has only 29 base speed, so it would actually be the slowest Pokemon across these two sides. And Trovita continues to restore some health thanks to that ingrain. That has been very beneficial for the water type. Now, as always, in our description below, we have a link to our Instagram page that will give updates on the ladder and the fixture, as well as our match of the week. Golduck going with a round there, targeting Carbink. Finally gets Carbink down into the yellow with that not very effective move. And a Thunder Wave now coming from Trovita, but Carbink avoids that. And it's going to respond here. Goes with a rollout. This move will build momentum every turn, so it won't do a great deal of damage in its first hit, but it will do more every time it connects. Hatterene now going to go with a final Gambit. This is terrible. This is not what the Ballonelea Angels need. It will eliminate Trovita with that move, but Hatterene has eliminated itself from this battle. That could be horrible for the Ballonelea Angels, as Trovita is also finally taken down after being in this battle for well over 10 minutes. And we have Gyarados coming out for the Trovita Cascade, and Alcremie coming out for the Ballonelea Angels. Now Gyarados has that Intimidate ability, so it's going to lower the attack stats of Alcremie and Carbink. They don't have very great attack stats, so maybe it won't make much of a difference as long as they take advantage of their special attack, because Alcremie has that 110 special attack that it can use. As we now get a rollout coming from Golduck. So we have two rollouts happening on the field right now. One by Golduck and one by Carbink. Guillotine coming from Gyarados, but the sturdy ability that Carbink holds prevents that one-hit KO move from connecting. Alcremie goes with the Poison Fang. Very minor damage to Gyarados there. As a rollout again from Carbink, gets that critical hit as well onto Golduck, takes it down into the yellow. Golduck with a rollout of its own continues to target Alcremie. Now Gyarados goes with the Sand attack. Targets Alcremie, so it's going to lower the accuracy that Alcremie has. There are only 2 Pokemon remaining for the Ballonelea Angels. There are 3 still left for the Trovita Cascade, so they have the advantage as that Fissure. But it doesn't affect Gyarados due to being a flying type, and that rollout from Carbink, but Golduck holds on, so Golduck just barely hanging in there. As Golduck now goes for its own rollout, continuing to target Alcremie, and Alcremie is down into the red. Gyarados could actually finish Alcremie off here. Goes with a Pain Split though. And it targets Alcremie, so this actually benefits the Ballonelea Angels as Alcremie gets a massive boost to its health as Gyarados cuts its own health. Now Alcremie goes with a Muddy Water. Golduck avoids the attack though, so it's going to only hit Gyarados here. It almost looks like it's riding that surf, but Golduck keeps itself in the battle. Gyarados' accuracy will be lowered and Carbink goes with its rollout, so this will finish off Golduck. So Golduck's been eliminated. Things are all tied up here, but you have to think that Muddy Water, if it had connected with Golduck, Carbink could have finished off Gyarados, as we now have Milotic coming out for the Trovita Cascade. And it's third ranked, or third drafted to the Trovita Cascade. It is actually equal ranked number 1 with Gyarados though, as Gyarados has a massive chance here. Goes with the Fury Swaps, but Alcremie avoids that attack. That speed advantage on the side of Trovita Cascade as we get a Confused Ray coming from Milotic. Targeting Alcremie, so Alcremie now is confused. Angels have to hope it doesn't do damage to itself. And it does, so Alcremie hits itself in its confusion. Carbink continuing with its rollout, and it's going to go for Milotic. And it's a one-hit wonder. Milotic has been taken down by the rollout from Carbink. Unbelievable momentum there by the Fairy Rock type. And the Ballon Angels have just unbelievably taken the lead now, as Gyarados is the last remaining Pokemon for the Trovita Cascade, and it goes with the Crabhammer, targets Alcremie, and Alcremie is eliminated. It is now a 1v1 battle. We have Carbink on the side of the Ballon Angels and Gyarados on the side of the Trovita Cascade. And a clear Smog now coming from Carbink. Does minor damage to Gyarados. Gyarados' stat changes have all been removed. That's both Pokemon are in the yellow, so they have less than half their health left. Gyarados with their speed advantage again is massive as it goes for a heavy slam. Carbink has all those defensive stats though. But it doesn't matter because it's super effective and Carbink has been eliminated by Gyarados. The Trovita Cascade have got the win. That is a huge victory for the Trovita Cascade today. Unbelievable. Ballon Angels came so close to winning, and that has happened to them numerous times throughout this season, but they just couldn't get the job done as the Trovita Cascade get a huge victory. This will get them so close to beating the 8 if they do not get there. That Thunder to Togekiss also from Politoed. Fantastic hit. But Trovita Cascade, huge win. And speaking of Thunder moves, Trovita Cascade next week will be hosting the Lumiose Lightning over in the Orange Archipelago. So that should be a big match for the Cascade if they can beat a type who have a type advantage over them. Whereas the Ballon and the Angels will be travelling to Santaloon City in the Kalos region to face the Santaloon Swarm. The Santaloon Swarm having a very up and down season, much like the Ballon Angels. Both of those two teams are going to want a huge win. That final gambit from Hatterene, you have to think, was very unhelpful. But that Muddy Water that Golduck avoided later on in the battle was huge. It did end up getting finished off here by a Carbink, but if it had have already been eliminated by that Muddy Water, you have to think those rollouts would have been connecting with Gyarados. It was a massive one-hit wonder on Milotic. It was a beautiful strike there by Carbink, but it just couldn't finish off Gyarados. Gyarados taking it down with a super effective heavy slam, getting the Trovita Cascade, making their record at 6-5 for the season. But Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was best on field, and always remember, you are awesome, and I will speak to you next time.